Alright, hello everybody. I'm here to show off a quick tier list from the closed beta from Fate Trigger, the Novita. And I'll admit, some of these characters I didn't play a lot of, but the amount of time I did play them, I could tell their overall power level. Let's just hop right into it. Alright, we have Camille. Camille is quite good, I would say, especially in squads. All we had access to in the beta were squads. How she plays in solos and duos, I don't know. As a squad-based gameplay and having a healer, I would say she is definitely in A. She's not necessary to have on every team. She's just a very nice to have character to have on every team. Very useful. And she's also kind of reliant on communication with your teammates and just a lot of synergy with your team. Because of her ult, you have to have communication, like, because when you ult, people can teleport to you, well, even when you're downed, so that's nice to have. And obviously her basic ability is as a heal, which is pretty nice. So we'll put her in A. Eos. I think that's how you say your name. EOS. Eos. Oh, this was a very, very popular character. Interesting character. Her basic ability lets you dash, which is honestly whatever to me. Her ultimate ability lets you do a crazy beam attack that's like the highest DPS I imagine in the current game. Very popular character. I played her a little bit. I wasn't a fan of her at all, personally. I think I'm gonna put it in B tier. I feel like there's definitely better characters, and this character only really shines, in my opinion, when you have purple or gold armor. If you have purple or gold armor, you should win any one-on-one fight with your ultimate. It's not quite as likely with blue or lower armor. So you have purple or gold armor and you pop your ult, you're definitely at least gonna kill one person before you die. Because that's what happens when you ult. You're kind of vulnerable when you ult. So we'll put her in B tier. Oh, Huxley. Oh man. The character I played the most. Holy moly. She is hot. S. It doesn't matter if, by the way, this character is extremely good and the best character in the closed beta. Even if she gets nerfed to the ground, she'll still be S tier because of all the amazing costumes and attire she has. Alright, in all seriousness, her ability lets her... you get to see people through walls and stuff in a certain radius, and in squads, and a game that's all about having information gathering. Huxley is always very, very useful. Her ultimate is also very useful as it isolates yourself and maybe teammates from potential other threats. You could also fight inside her zone. Honestly, the most of the time when I would use her ult as like cover to kind of like save myself or save teammates, but also with the synergy with her basic ability with her ultimate is very disgusting, as you get the nice red outline of players in the ult, so the enemies can't see you, but you and your teammates can see it. Very disgusting combination. Won't be surprised if she does get nerfed. But honestly, in my opinion, I don't think she needs to be nerfed. I think a lot of these characters just need to be buffed. A lot of characters were very underwhelming. Speaking of an underwhelming character, Kira. I played a lot of her, and it was quite interesting. I was always browsing the Discord, and a lot of people were complaining about this character being too strong. I don't know what the hell they were smoking. I think this character is incredibly mid. Kira's basic ability is that she could summon up a shield wall kind of thing and make a one-way, so only you and teammates could shoot out of it, and enemies can't shoot you back, which is very strong on paper. But in my opinion, it's pretty easy to deal with, as you could shoot the wall and it breaks pretty easily. You could just ignore her. You could always get a different angle on her. It's very not great. And her ultimate ability is that she summons a big old tower. And man, I just don't understand how anybody could think your tower is strong. When you summon up your tower, you basically put a big old target on your head. Everybody in the vicinity is going to point their gun at you. Yeah, you get health regen as you're in the tower, and you could also put up shields and whatnot to protect yourself. But the reality is, I think Kira is incredibly mid. I'm putting in C tier. Because at the end of the day, a lot of people are going to play her as like a camper. You could go in houses, put up walls and whatnot. You know how to counter her? You just walk away. Don't deal with her. And eventually the zone's going to move and she's going to have to reposition. Kira, C tier. Oh, Nase, a character I really wish I played more of. I was just vibing way too hard with Huxley. Nase was also another very popular character. Like, every team had one. Her basic ability is she launches a bubble shark thing, and behind the trail, you get movement speed, and your teammates also get movement speed. And apparently, the little bubble shark thing that goes flying out can hit an enemy and deal damage to them. But the entire time I played, I never saw this happen once, so don't know how that works. Pretty good basic ability, especially when you realize how good it is with her ult. Her ult is when she takes, upon taking lethal damage, she will become invulnerable and she can move away. This is really good synergy with her basic ability because you essentially get like a free life, and you could use this in a whole bunch of different ways. For example, you throw down your Q to go into a building, and you just fly through the building, and let me tell you something. Whenever Nase did this to me, it was very hard to track her, and I would always miss all my shots. So, and if by some miracle you did kill her, but she did have her ult, she would just get a free life, basically, and she could just move out. Another way you could use this is like, she's almost like an information gatherer, too, right? Kind of like Huxley. Huxley and Nase will be incredible synergy together, in my opinion. Huxley could throw down her Q, so you could show all the people in the house. Nase could fly through there and kind of do as much damage or get as much information as possible. Of course, this only means if she has ult, of course. Dies, or quote dies, her ult will pop and she will get out, and then the rest of the team could just tag out and go into the house and finish off the job. I think Nase is incredibly strong with ult, but she's kind of weak without ult, right? She's very ult reliant. A or B, I don't know. A with ult, B without ult. I don't actually know the cooldown on her ult, so I think I'm going to put her in B. I think with the right synergies and in the right situations, Nase is incredibly strong, but other than that, she's not anything crazy. B tier for her. Oh, Sorwayne. I hate playing this character because I suck with her. And that's important, because this character definitely requires a lot of knowledge and skill to play. And this is going to be your fragger. This is going to be the character that gets a lot of kills in the game if they know what they're doing. Because of her basic ability, she could jump up in the air really high, reposition really quickly. You could get crazy angles on people real quickly. This is amazing, obviously. But this comes with a huge drawback. When you're flying through the air, you are at your most vulnerable point, which means you will die very easily. So knowing how to survive while also utilizing the full potential of her ability will be the difference between a really good Sorwayne and a dog turd Sorwayne. So either D. I'm not going to put her in S tier just because she requires a ton of skill to play. Unlike Huxley. Huxley's very easy to play and she's very strong. So Sorwayne, I'm going to put in A tier. I almost want to put her down lower just because she's that hard to play. Or I should say, She's very punishing if you don't know how to play her. Very, very punishing. And also, by the way, her ult, she summons a jet stream where you and your teammates could fly into it, and then you basically get like a free repositioning, which is actually very strong. You could reposition and fly on top of another team, and they a lot of the time don't even know what's happening. It happened to me a few times. I've done it with a Sorwayne on my team. Very interesting ult. So I'll put her in A tier. Hard to play, high risk, high reward kind of playstyle, fragger. We'll put her in A. I think this character's name is Ziva. Xiva. However you pronounce that, so I'll call her Ziva. This character is kind of... She's a control character. With her basic ability, she can put up walls. These walls can be shot through. They're like flame walls, and if enemies touch them, they take damage. So it's basically for controlling like choke points, cutting off vision. It's overall pretty useful. But her ultimate is what's really interesting with how it controls the battlefield. She throws out a grenade, and then it's like it creates a zone where a barrage of missiles comes down and like strikes the ground and does AoE damage. So she kind of controls that area. Unfortunately, she can't enter it. Well, she can, but she'll take a lot of damage. It does self-harm. So it's better for forcing enemies to disperse or forcing them out of areas. Best case scenario I've always found out when I played her was if you knock somebody and they are outdoors, like without any cover above, you could just throw down your ult and it would just be a free kill. It would also prevent any teammates nearby. They would have to evacuate the location because they would also die. So just a very good like disturbance character, disruptive. It screws up the enemy team's organization. So it's kind of hard to put this character. She's such a weird character. I think B. She's not like super strong, but she's not super weak. She's kind of middle of the pack. At least that's what I feel. And you see, I didn't put anybody in D tier because there's nobody in the alpha that was so unbearably bad that I had to put them there. I thought they were all decent enough. And just an FYI, these were the only characters, 7, and the creators of Fate Trigger said they're going to be 20 when the game soft launches at the end of this year. So we got a third of the roster so far. That's crazy. If like we're going to get how many more? Like 14 more characters? That's crazy, dude. So a lot of these characters might just be enabled by other characters with synergies, like how Nase and Huxley have good synergy together. So time will tell. This is kind of my honest opinion on the closed alpha. I don't think anybody needs to be nerfed. They probably will nerf Huxley. I think she's that good. I don't think it's necessary. But I do think all these characters down here should get some type of small buff. Because they were just nowhere near the power level and consistency as Huxley. It was so funny. People were complaining how strong Kira was, and I couldn't really understand. Doesn't make any sense to me. Didn't seem that strong to me. So it'll be interesting to see the new characters that come out, see how these characters also play in different game modes like duos and solos. This was just for the closed alpha and squads. I'm sure a lot's going to change. That's all I have for you guys today. Hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time. Later.